So, part 2, explain how you know the graph represents the equation. Well, you can see that as time increases by 1 hour at a time, the dollar value does go up. And it does hit the origin, so you know at 0 hours he makes 0 money. It would not make sense to have this line continue down here, because you can't work negative time, and you can't get paid negative time, or negative dollars. So it would actually start right here at the origin. So I should actually erase that. And it should start there. But it can go on. He can work more than 4 hours. He could work who knows how many hours. You can summarize it that for every hour increase in work, he earns an additional $9.25. And there's another way you can actually look at this. Bear with me as I draw something out here. With a linear graph, you can actually draw steps that shows the consistency of change over time, or, well, if it's not time, change over whatever values you're working with. So as you can see, we've got some consistent stepping going on here between our dots. The horizontal distance is the same each time. The vertical distance is the same each time. In terms of staircases, this is your run and this is your rise. Run, rise, run, rise. They're all the same. So you know that for every 1 step in time, the height here is 9.25, and that is consistent all the way along, even if you kept going with your graph. So that's another way to look at it. So that's a distance of 1, that's 9.25. That's 1, that's 9.25. 1, and then 9.25. And you could drop this down even further. This height here is 9.25. This run here to 0 is also 1. So that's where your stair start, and it would continue going. So that's another way to look at it as far as how you know that the graph represents the equation. For every hour worked, he earns another 9.25. Part 3. If Jacob works 8 hours in 1 week, what is his pay? Well, in this case, you don't even need to use the graph. We have an equation to use. P is equal to 9.25 times T. So if he works 8 hours, you substitute that in for T. And you do your calculation, and it works out to be $74. So if he works 8 hours, he gets paid $74. So that's the solution to part D.